Hey, I'm Caleb.
And I'm Kristian. Today we're testing our emoji Bible knowledge.
And learning what it means to be a royal priest.
Today on Mishmash.
It's time to die in the
You are all young and in your prime, so you know what emojis are. Kristian doesn't, but that's on you.
What? Caleb, I only speak in emojis, which gives me an advantage because today we're playing a game called the Emoji Bible Game.
The game is simple. We're going to look at emojis on the screen and figure out what they mean. It could be a character or something from the Bible.
Caleb, what's the catch?
There's no catch.
There's a catch.
Okay, the catch. We're wearing these.
Knew there was a catch! Oh, shocking!
Get it? Shocking? Kristian and I will also be wearing these shock collars. Yes, you heard me right. If we get it wrong, we're gonna know. Also, don't try this at home. We are what you call semi-professionals.
No one calls us that.
And don't worry, we are doing this at a very humanly safe setting. So at least I hope we are.
Yeah.
This is safe, right?
Hey, this is gonna be rough. Let's get started.
Let's go.
First one. What? It's like stars and a thumbs up. Space. Good space. Wait, I can't guess.
Did you guess?
Apparently, there's some words.
I'm gonna be careful about what I say. Okay, I'm just acknowledging, not guessing, I'm acknowledging that that looks like stars and that is a thumbs up. The wise man looking up at the star?
The North Star.
That wasn't right! That was wrong! Wait, he made a guess. What did you say?
No.
What did you say?
I said the North Star.
Okay, Kristian, this is our last guess.
I believe in you.
It's my last guess.
Wait. God made the heavens and the sky, the earth, the heavens, and it was good. That's correct!
Creation!
Creation!
You got it! He saved us!
Saved myself. You wouldn't have gotten shocked from that.
You're right.
Let's go to the next one. From now on, if one of us gets this wrong, we're getting shocked together.
Burning bush! Consuming fire!
Stop it.
Holy Spirit!
Stop! Stop! Let me guess. Shut your mouth! Stop talking. Stop talking. Okay, now let's think about this. Fire.
Okay, I think it was Elijah in the prophets of,
Yeah, that's not it! There's definitely fireball!
Kristian.
Wait, I want to give one guess.
This is your final one?
This is my final
Okay.
one. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego going into the fire.
That's it! Fiery furnace!
Yes! You stink at this! Stop guessing! On to the next one!
There's a lot of fire in the Bible.
Huh?
That's a cat?
It's a cat.
There's lots of cats.
Wait.
Wait,
These are feelings.
play this out, Kristian.
Play this out.
Keep going.
I don't know. One's just staring, one's loving, one's going.
I don't know, like,
There are 7 sins.
That's not it! Oh my goodness. Daniel
Daniel
and the lions
Den.
den.
Are you
Oh!
kidding me?
There's Daniel and there's all the lions. That's good. That was actually really clear.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh!
Okay, so there's fish, and there's these guys praying for.
Oh, okay, here we go. This is the story. 2 loaves of the fish and bread. They were sad.
Where is the bread here?
And then God prayed, Jesus. And then there was lots of food and everybody was really happy. This is when he feeds 5,000.
when they needed more fish.
And he said to put the nets on the other side.
And then they got a ton of fish,
And then
they were
they
happy.
almost sank the boat.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of fire and a lot of fish in the Bible, okay? Wow. Oh, time out, don't say anything. This is deceiving. I mean, this could be anyone. There's a lot of like characters in the Bible.
Ah! I didn't say anything. I'm gonna guess Adam.
Why, Adam?
It's just one
No.
dude.
Jesus. It was Jesus.
What?
Got it. There's a human being, and there's
It's a child. It's a child.
cheese rock. Jesus is the rock, and he rolls my blues.
What is that?
Kristian, what is this? David and Goliath.
Why is there cheese there?
I think he was bringing food to his brothers at the war before the Philistines and the Israelites
You
were
know, they
going
should
to
have had
attack.
that emoji where that guy just did. 3 nose, a chicken, and crying.
Salute. What are these? Why did we go?
Oh, I got this. Peter.
Denied 3 times before the rooster crowed.
Before the rooster crows.
Got it.
Let's go.
You got it. Kristian,
Caleb.
that was shockingly
Shocking. No,
electrifying.
No, I already know. I don't want to get shocked. Hey, we did our best. Let's get to the verse of the week. No! I can't get it up!
When I was in the 5th grade, my class had a competition to see who could read the most books in 1 month. Whoever read the most books would get to be king or queen of our class for a whole day. They'd get to wear a crown, read the morning's announcements over the speaker for the whole school, be line leader all day, and even decide what our class had for lunch. Now, you guys need to know 2 things about me. I love to read, and I love to be in charge. So when this challenge was announced, your girl got to work. In the end, I read 18 books in 1 month, more than anyone else in my class. And I got to be queen of my class for a whole day. It felt like a role I was born for. I wore my crown. I read the school's announcements. I was at the front of the line all day. And I picked what my class had for lunch that day. Pizza and chocolate milk. They loved it. Ruling over my class for 1 day was pretty awesome. It reminds me of today's Bible verse. Let's read it together. Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 and 27. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. That's awesome. At the very beginning of the Bible, God created the first ever humans, Adam and Eve, and he created them to rule over the rest of creation. They were royal priests chosen by God to represent him to the rest of the world. And the same thing is true about you and me. God has chosen us to represent him and be a reflection of him to the people around us. Being royalty in my 5th grade class for 1 day was pretty cool and everything, but now, because I love and follow God, I have been chosen by him to be a royal priest for him. You've been chosen too. You are a child of God, so you can be a royal priest for him when you choose to follow him and show other people who he is. We'll learn more about this later, but for now, let's read that Bible verse again and talk about it.
We're talking about how followers of Jesus are actually royal priests that represent God to the world and the world to God. Now, to help us understand this whole royal priest concept better and how it applies to the whole story of the Bible, let's watch a video from our friends at the Bible Project.
So, if you lived in ancient Israel, one of the most important places was the tabernacle.
The tabernacle was a sacred tent that the Israelites carried as they journeyed to the promised land.
And it was sacred because it's where the heavenly presence of Israel's God lived on earth. And the tabernacle had an important design to show just how special it was. There's the outer courtyard, then an entry room into the tent, and it leads into the center of the tabernacle, the Holy of Holies, God's personal throne room, and it's guarded by these heavenly hybrid creatures called cherubim. Notice, the closer that you get to the center, the more sacred the space becomes.
The people who work in the tabernacle are called priests, and they care for the sacred space, offer sacrifices on behalf of Israel, and announce God's blessing over the people.
Yeah, these priests represent God to the people, and they represent the people to God. So think of both the tabernacle and the priests who work in it like gateways that link together heaven and earth. And this is why the tabernacle was eventually brought up to settle on a mountain, because mountains are where earth meets heaven. Now, one thing that's missing in this tabernacle that you would find in every other ancient holy space are idol images that physically represent the God.
Oh, right. Israel's God explicitly commanded them to not make any idol images.
And that's because in the Bible, all humanity is God's image. This is what we learn in the first pages of the Bible, where Adam and Eve, in Hebrew their names mean human and life, they're called God's image, which means they represent God in his holy space.
And that holy space is a garden in a land called Eden.
Yes, and the story is designed to show that Eden is the reality that the later tabernacle symbolized and pointed back to. For example, look close at the descriptions of Eden. There's the larger region on the land that's called Eden, but then within Eden, God plants a garden. And then in the center of that garden, God plants the tree of life.
The design of Eden matches the tabernacle design.
Yes, and there are details in the Eden story that are developed much later in the Bible, showing how Eden is on a high mountain.
Because they're in a place where earth meets heaven.
Exactly. And God tells these humans to work and to keep the garden. These are the same words that are used later in the Bible to describe what priests do in the tabernacle.
So Adam and Eve are God's image and are like priests working and worshiping in a type of heaven on earth temple.
Yes, they represent creation before God, and as God's image, they represent God to all of creation. And they do all of this in this sacred space that's saturated with the life and presence of God. And so God tells them to rule creation on his behalf. They're like priests who embody God's heavenly wisdom and rule here on earth.
You could call them royal priests.
Exactly. Now, this whole setup, the royal priests in God's presence where there's abundance and life, in the book of Genesis, this is called God's blessing.
But it doesn't last very long.
No. Humanity is deceived by this rebellious creature. They're unsatisfied with being images of God, and so they make a grab at being God, ruling creation on their own terms.
And so God exiles them from the garden.
And God places cherubim at the door of Eden to guard the way back in.
This is tragic. Humanity has given up the role God made them for.
But it's not the end. The rest of the biblical story is about God's mission to undo this tragedy so that humans can regain access to the heaven on earth place where they can finally become God's royal priests. It all begins with a promise that God makes to Adam and Eve that he will raise up one of their descendants to rule over and defeat that deceiver. God says that this coming descendant will strike the head of that deceiver, but also be struck by it.
So this priestly figure will restore God's blessing by offering up his own life like a sacrifice. But this is still just a promise.
Yes, and so in the next story, we find the next generation outside of Eden. Two brothers at the door of the garden are offering sacrifices to God, kind of like priests.
Maybe God will accept these offerings and they can get back into Eden.
But sadly, one brother, Cain, gets angry because God favors his brother Abel's sacrifice, and so Cain murders his own brother. Then Cain is exiled even further from Eden and from God's blessing. And over time, Cain's anger plunges humanity into widespread violence.
Humans really need that coming royal priest to rescue them.
Yes, and that's the hope that this whole story is designed to generate. And so in the next few videos, we're going to explore the theme of this coming royal priest throughout the story of the Bible. We're going to see how the stories of Abraham and Moses and David all point forward to Jesus, who is the ultimate royal priest.
Jesus, the one who will restore the blessings of Eden.
So that all humanity can become the royal priests that we're made to be, ruling the world together on God's behalf.
So, even if you didn't understand all that good info from our friends at the Bible Project, understand this. If you follow Jesus, you have a powerful identity as God's kid. Because you are God's kid, you are royalty for real life. And with great royal power comes great royal responsibility. You are also a priest for our God. That means God has chosen you to represent Him to the people around you. So, first, recognize how much God loves you and has chosen you. Second, recognize how much God loves other people too. And third, be the royal priest our God designed you to be and share His love to others. Tell others about Jesus, the royal high priest, and keep representing God's love and truth to others. Remember, if you follow Jesus, you are chosen.